you could just tell us what your name is, or what you've studied, and who you work for.
I'm Hannah, and in terms of studying, I started off studying science and studied agricultural science. And I went travelling for a bit and decided to come back and study some more. And I had done some business in my first degree, and I decided to build up on that. So I went to my college, which was part of the University of London, and studied agribusiness management. And in part of that course I started doing economics. Discovered I really liked it. And well, particularly was the advantage in science, if you're doing research, you do the same old experiment over and over again to get data, and realised with the beauty of economics, you have the data. You don't have to do all the tedious stage. And I just really liked the subject, and that's the way you can simply explain life. And from there I ended up doing a PhD. I was particularly interested in Central European economies and transition, and I had the opportunity to work in a project on that. So I did that, and then ended up working on another project in Ireland and came to the Government Economic Service from there.
And what do you do now?
I now work in DTI as a European Faststreamer, which means that I not only get language tuition free, which is pretty good,
yeah,
I just work on interesting European issues.
And do you find yourself using economic tools or in that job, and finding yourself that the studies that you went back to and found that you enjoy are helping you in your post?
Very much so. Partly my previous post, even more so because I was involved in an evaluation, and a lot of the econometrics I'd used became very helpful, and I was able to use that. But yeah, I mean, every day also. So you don't even, once you've done economics for a while, you almost don't realise that you are using economics, because you start thinking in that way. But yes, you are using it all the time.
So you think, as an economist, you don't necessarily have to be doing some economics, it's just whether you apply yourself to a project or a problem.
When you're using more of the economic, you start asking those sorts of questions with an economic viewpoint, and then sort of the economics comes out, so to speak.
Okay, well, what else do you enjoy about your job?
I like the variety, that rather than the generalists which are stuck on one policy area, we get to work across, I'm working across 3 policy groups, so I get to learn more variety than the others.
So you obviously didn't see yourself starting out doing economics when you left school and started studies, but if you could go back, would you have liked to have had some economics earlier on?
I would have done. I would have quite liked to have sort of had a broader economic background, and having come into later in a more directed agricultural viewpoint, which yes, I've broadened since then and have applied to other things because it's really an applied science. It would have been good to have had a sort of a broader economic degree.
And could you find yourself applying your economics to the science that you did, working in a world that combines agriculture and economics?
I could. I mean, I can see that there would be scope to say things like production economics when you've also got an idea of what are the factors behind production. So it's easier to sort of know if data makes sense that somebody gives you when you see problems, and there is a scope to combine. But it also makes it easier to talk to scientists as well, because I've got some background.
Some common ground to share with them. Great.